everybody, I am Angendra. I just realized, well not just, obviously, time has passed, but I just realized that, I have the sand spell, so I can just, like, go to Scarabray now. I'm all wandering around, depressed over the loss of, well, my magic carpet, among other things. Did I manage to walk up and onto the fence? I hate it when I do that. And, the fact that I can't find that flippin' house, but what am I stuck on that I can't walk off this podium? This is not rocket science. Alright, let's see, where did I park? Over near Nystall. So Nystall gave me a very boss seance spell, which I can probably use to talk to the ghosts in Scarabray, at least I'm hoping. Is there really only one bridge? That's what throws me every time. I think there's two of them, and that's why I stop early before I get to go. When do we eat? You've been with me, friend. Well, not if you didn't, you know, hang out through the last one, but you've been with me, friend. We'll take this from the top. I have fed these people 5 times in the past half hour. Well, I mean, cumulative half hour of game time. There is such a thing as game time if you're not familiar. It's, you know, the clock in the San Dimas is always ticking. That does not apply. Unless you leave it running, in which case your characters may die. So. Let's see here. You look like you could eat a whole turkey. That's what I thought. You're a growing boy. What's in here? Is there... I feel like there was a dungeon up here or something. Oh my goodness! Okay, there is. Oh, do I talk to you? What's going on? Are you someone I can talk to? Do I want to talk to you? It's not attacking me. God, did I just... Random sheep. Did I just get distracted again? I did. That's, you know what? I'm so okay with myself. Things like this don't get to me. Okay, I have been this way. Because I just feel that, you know, despite the stew pot, the particular Cyclops would not have, you know, opened that door. It's too small for him anyways. Where's the one where the Cyclops talked to you? Is that... It wasn't this one, was that? What's gonna happen if I just head southwest? Besides being completely and totally disgusted by the sheer level of garbage there, which they worked into the plot. It's like, I get it, I just don't get it. They like to do political commentary in this, but like every once in a while I'll run into a character like Syria, and I just wonder if they crossed the line there. So, putting all the garbage near love, not entirely sure where I was going with that, and I'm not entirely sure that I want to know. I'm actually, like, remarkably okay with myself. Hello, Tentacle of the Sea. Did you just crash my game? Are you serious? Why would we do this to me? Hold on, friend. Wow, it is crashed, like, mad. Like, I can't even... I'm trying to, like... pop up the... There we go. Hi, everybody, I'm Angendra. I'm just kidding. But I had to actually reboot the whole thing. So... Weird. I have no idea what happened there. Sure was mad, though. Sure was mad. Okay, so hold on. My magic carpet is north of Nystall's. I still haven't figured my hair out yet, so... If it looks particularly crazy during a take, you know what? Life happens. Life happens. We have a wishing well. Can I make a wish? Can I use that? No? It's feeding time again for these people. Have a mandrake root. We'll solve this issue forthwith. Alright, you, and then who was it? Iolo? No? Is it Dupre? Dupre looks like a heavy eater. Not saying anything personal, Dupre. Also, no, I thought that somebody put away a loaf of bread. Was it me? I'm the one complaining, aren't I? Of course I am. Of course I am. Alright. Already bought the seance spell. We don't need to bother with Cyclops again. And everyone got onto the magic carpet. Like, I'm so proud of these guys. I can't even explain it. Wow, I actually really would be mad if that much trash got dumped near my house. Every once in a while I run into that down south, and it's sad. It is. So, southwesterly. Southwesterly we go. Everything was kind of crammed together here, so the whole bit about the boats and whatnot was a little bit overdone in this one. Because you travel 15 feet, I travel 15 feet to the west and I hit Scarabray. So it's kind of fantastic. But, it is what it is. Let's see here. Did I miss? Is that a cave? I don't know why I'm so obsessed with them. No, it's not. Where do you think Scarabray is? Not here. Oh, that's Helm. Okay, wait. Where was Scarabray? Is it south of here or north? We'll do a loop-de-loop. I'll just head straight south. Straight on till morning. Actually, I would assume that the pace of a magic carpet is quite fast, so... shouldn't be too bad. Should fly right over you. I found a magic scimitar. I can't tell you how crushed I am. I couldn't get it. What is that even? It's messed up, that's what it is. Why would you do that? What on... oh, I think that's Iola's place. We've already raided his stuff. He lives in... yeah. He lives in you. Aw. Iola and he lives in you? There's just too much there. Too much internet culture there to ignore. Alright, so there is the thingamabob. We found the house. There's the Reaper. We're flying southwest again. There she is. There's dear old messed up Scarabray. What are you? Hold on, I just saw something. Did anyone else catch that flash of red? Alright, I parked somewhere around here. There's like just enough for a carpet open. All I have to do is find it again, and I'll be happy. And you'll be happy. We'll be happy together. Wow, okay. We know this exists. We know it's a real thing. We know it's near her house. So we knew to go get the sand spell. I have this really bad feeling this is going to be strikingly similar to me trying to get that darn scimitar. Oh, it was south of here. Okay. There's God's sandal. The tree puked. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, so can I... no, I can't put down there because of the scrub. I don't want no scrub. Scrub is a place I can't park no more for me. What's this? What am I wondering, guys? Should appear. But about 8 spaces where the ground is clear. Okay. So, let's see. Is that a horseshoe? I feel like that's a horseshoe. Body. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. The reality turned out to be more grisly than I could possibly have imagined, so... let's see if the sand spell will work. Because these guys are just flat out ignoring me. I find it a little bit insulting. I mean, I know that they're busy and all, but... I'm trying to help them here, you know? Can I talk to all the ghosts? You see it? In the fire of the ghostly forge, a large, heavily muscled ghost with full beard and mustache. He does not notice your approach. Deep furrow accentuated by thick eyebrows creases the ghost's weary brow. He doesn't look away from his work. I'm Trent. Now please go leave me to my work. He continues hammering on a strangely shaped iron cage. Anger radiates from large ghost in almost tangible waves. He looks up from the cage and you see that the light of the fire isn't coming from the forge, it's coming from his eyes. Built this cage to destroy the bastard horns who took my wife from me. For a moment you think he's going to strike out at you, then he unclenches his fist with a heavy sigh and returns to his work. His whole body tenses as you speak. Horrence. The word comes out like a curse. I'll see his foul spirit burn before mine eyes. And I will laugh as he cries out pitifully for mercy. For some reason you think you'd rather avoid hearing that laugh. One hot tear slips from the ghost's eye and falls on a heated piece of the iron cage. It sizzles and is gone. Rowena is my life, mine only joy in this world. His voice is almost tender, but then he returns to his guttural tones. He killed her and took that joy from me. Now I am only a hollow shell of a man burning with hatred. He holds up one hand as you say the name of his late wife. Please do not say that name. Takes from me a little of mine hatred, which is all that I have now, would so rob me of the one thing that keeps me alive. It would seem that he's unaware of the fact that he is indeed no longer alive. An odd expression crosses his face. I gave her a music box for her wedding. Now it is all I have left to remember her by. His tone changes. Did thou see what thou hast done? I cannot work when I think of her. He returns to his work with a renewed passion. You notice the music box he spoke of sitting nearby. In an attempt to steal her away from my side, the evil fiend sent his undead minions to bring her to the Dark Tower. Mindless creatures slew her as she struggled. Ghost turns to an anguish. I could do naught to save her. The sheer number of skeletal warriors bore me to the ground as she was bereft of life. Insane determination flickers in the big ghost's eyes. For this I will never forgive and never forget. Holy cow. Art thou blind? Canst thou not see that I'm a smith? He doesn't seem like the sort for idle conversation. I think we might need that more than you, friend. Seem a little distraught. Not to be all judgy judge, but I am the avatar, so, you know. I think the ghosts go to bed and everything. You can probably just pinch just about anything because they're dead. I mean, I'm assuming. Well, like I'll get in trouble. Oh, there he is. It's a middle-aged ghost cowering in the corner of this burned-out room. Shaking from head to toe, and as you approach, he jumps out waving an ankh in your face. Thou'lt not have me, foul beast! Back, back, I say in the name of the virtues, back. He slowly notices that this is having no effect other than to surprise you, looks more closely in your direction. He looks from you to the picture of you on the wall. Back and forth he looks, squinting his eyes until they go wide with relief. Well, thank thee for coming, Lord British finally called thee to help us. He's obviously suffering from some sort of delusion. And Mayor Forsyth, dost thou think it will take thee long to defeat the Lich? Well, yes, the Lich has been a horrible scourge in my poor town. First he drives away all the visitors by raising the dead, then I attempt to stop him and the town is destroyed in a terrible fire. I can see that. Well, I suppose that's not strictly his fault, but well, something had to be done about him. Forsyth looks a little flustered. The alchemist is the one who started the fire. He puts his arm around your shoulder and whispers, Mistress Mortar, our healer, thought she found a way to get rid of foreigners once and for all. All we had to do is make a gold cage. Or was it an old cage? Well, no matter. We make this cage, and someone, he smiles at you, lowers it onto the well of souls to do something or other to it. When this is done, thou shalt catch the Lich off guard late at night and snap it tight around him. Sounds easy thus far, yes? Well, now, after that, thou needst only pour on him the magic liquid that the alchemist was making. He pauses here a little embarrassed. I apparently got the proportions a little bit off when I told the alchemist about the formula. Anyway, it should be as easy as falling off a log for thee. Guess thou hadst better be running along now. Mistress Mordra can tell thee ever so much more about this than can I. Careful though, she's a dangerous old wench. So long ago I barely remember. A smattering of curing, a dash of post invisibility, and that's right, a ton of the essence of mandrake root. Brilliant. She resides just across the way, and can help thee with everything that might need to get rid of the Lich. Thank thee ever so much. It's been nice talking with thee. Scurries back into the corner and holds the ankh in a protective fashion. So this idiot blew up the town. Or at least he's partially culpable. He's also the mayor, which is nice. Alright, there's the graveyard. Not that it really makes much of a difference at this point. Whole place is wrecked. Whole place wrecked up. Everyone's doing a good job here. Banging it out. Way to be. Who are you? Pale-looking ghost turns you in direction and gives you a wan smile. Hello, could it be we've met somewhere before? Lady, you see the recognition in his eyes and then it fades. Forgive me. He shakes his head and then smiles in the shade of Quentin. He smiles at your question. I once roamed the sea for days at a time gathering my harvest of fish. The story's a long and sad one. I hope thou hast some time. He appears thoughtful for a moment that begins. When I was a young man, I met a lovely woman by the name of Gwen. I made her my wife and we lived for a long time happy and carefree. She brought life into the world and we called her Marnie, which means the cool breeze after a storm. He smiles to himself at some memory and continues with furrowed brow. One day my wife was taken from me. I know not where or by whom, save that they were evil men. Soon after my sweet Marnie became sick at heart and I feared for her health. Could not take time for my fishing to care for her, but I needed gold, so I made a deal with a man who was not to be trifled with. This was mine undoing, for when I failed to repay his loan, he came to me one night and slew me. I had not chanced to fight back nor call for help. He falls silent. That was long before the fire that turned the whole island into the land of the dead. After I was murdered, my good friend Jarl cared for her as his own. He tried his best, but her sickness only worsened. After several months, she weakened and died. He stops here, tears filling his ghostly eyes, and then angrily he says, now her spirit is held by Horan's the Lich. Must rescue her from that foul beast. He attempts to grab you, but his hands pass through without resistance. Quentin regains control of himself. Forgive me, milady, I have no right to inflict my woes on thee. It hurts to think of my sweet Marnie and the power of that creature. Seems the Mistress Mortar of the town healer, though she had a plan to stop the Lich, Horrence, which she told the mayor. Not sure exactly what she planned, but it involved Trent, the town smith, and Cain, the alchemist. Why would you give a spell like that to a guy named Cain? Just like asking for it. Not long after Cain began his work, a maelstrom of fire tore over the island, destroying everything Scarab burned for days. Naturally, the Lich survived. She would like to assist us. She's the best one to speak to. She seems to know a way to rid us of the Lich, at least. Once 2 centuries ago, I knew a gifted mage named Horrence. 2 loves of his life were in studying magic and writing lovely poetry. The people of Scarabray felt safe in the knowledge that this sort of mage protected the town, and then began to change. First, his beautiful sonnets became rhyming doggerel. Became the only way in which he would speak. Spells which he displayed before the townsfolk became destructive and violent. People began to fear him. My death occurred at about this time. Not long after that, he became reclusive. He had a tower built in the northern point and never removed himself from it. Then one night the graves in the graveyard opened and the dead began to walk. They marched to his tower and now they roam all over the island performing his bidding. It's unfortunate. The mayor, Quentin selects his word carefully. Well, he believes that discretion is the better part of valor, so he may be able to offer thee some aid that are likely first to need convince him that thou art not here to hurt him. Poor man knows the spirit-wrenching feel of loss almost as well as I. His wife Rowena was killed by the Walking Dead. Mistress Mortar claims she saw her sitting on a throne next to the Lich's own. I believe this has driven Trent somewhat mad. He works night and day upon some oddly formed cage. Strangely though, he never seems to finish it. He does not seem to recall that he died in the fire either, but a great hatred for Horrence still burns in his heart. Alas, Cain in his attempt to free us from the Lich instead damned us to become slaves of the selfsame Lich. Yes, we are his slaves. Every night at midnight we must go to the Dark Tower and become servants of his black mass. I only know this because Mortar tells us it is so. I have no recollection of ever having been to the Dark Tower at all. His expression betrays his fear. Goodbye, milady. That's different. See a pretty ghostly girl with long black hair. Hello, milady. Called Paulette. How may I help thee? Well, milady has so forgotten already. I'm Paulette. Milady, before the fire I used to be a barmaid here. 'Tis called the Keg of Spirits. It's a fine name for a tavern, dost thou not agree? She smiles coyly. Oh yes, it was horrible. The tavern caught on fire. I ran in my room hoping to escape the flames, but I started coughing. I couldn't breathe. Her chest rises and falls quickly as if she's reliving the experience. Finally, I could take it no longer. She brings the back of her head to her forehead dramatically. I fainted. And I was here again, just like thou dost see me now. Her smile is like that of a child. Yes, 'twas quite odd. When I woke, it was as if I had never left where the fire began. In fact, were it not for the scorch marks everywhere, I doubt the fire ever happened. It's a little bit more than that, honey, but okay. Do you wish to purchase something? Sorry, milady, but all we serve here are spirits. Goodbye, milady. The pretty ghost turns away. What else are we gonna have? Corpulent undead barkeep. You can't put those words together. I'm gonna stop for a second and point that out. Greets you with a wide, gruesome smile. Come, stranger. Have a seat near old Markham and tell me your travels. I don't often get visitors in here very often. Lovely Paulette strolls over and pats Markham rather large belly. Yes, he's Markham of the Keg, all right. She smiles sweetly down at the older man. It's enough of that. Markham smacks the pretty young woman on her ghostly posterior. Make yourself useful and fetch me a haunch of venison. She turns away giggling. He looks at you with mirthful expression. Just don't know what I'm going to do with that girl. Why, I run this establishment, the Keg of Spirits. For a moment it becomes serious. The place once drew folk from all over Britain, gargoyle and human alike, until the fire, that is. This place was once my pride and joy. The Keg was known all around Britain, and a few other places too. Now it don't look like too much, but in its heyday it saw the likes of nobles, knights, minstrels, and merchants, and of course a bit of riff and raff, to be sure. His spirit seems indomitable. It looks uncomfortable. Cain blew the town to the four winds. Now we're all trapped here, slaves of that bastard Horrence. Tiny blue flames appear in the pupils of his glazed eyes, then go out as he regains his composure. Oh, I suppose it's not all his fault. He was trying to help us when he called down the proverbial fires of hell. Just rankles me to have died in my prime. His roguish smile once again lightens his ghostly... Is it visage or visage? I think it's visage. Look at disgust comes to his disfigured features. That tortured soul haunts a crater made by his foolish mistake. I wouldn't go near him, though. He's a bit daft, you know. He refills his mug from the casket aside and swigs down most of the wine in one swallow. For all the years I've been in Scarabray, Horns has been a raving lunatic. What with all them silly rhymes and his crazy laughter. Then one night, we all hears thunder when there wasn't a cloud in the starry sky, and I seem to recall a full moon. He gets a thoughtful look on his face. As I was saying, there was a deep thunder, then this deep dark laughter coming from the tower on the northern point. Horns' dark tower. After this he falls silent for a time, then after a brief swig he continues. Then even worse, I'm out checking the cows when I hear a sound like moaning. Off to the east, so I look that way into the graveyard, you know, and what do I see? Tell you what I see. Graves ripping open like people in them got a place to go. Eyes wide, he tips back another sip. It's just the name of the rest of us in Scarabray call him, the tortured one. He grins embarrassed. It's the name of the island you're on. Alright, well, you're leaving then? Well, take care now. Watch out for those walking dead. Will do. Thanks for the warning and all. Alright, so Quentin is still haunting Scarabray. Doesn't seem to remember me. It is what it is. The whole place is hemmed in by all sorts of stuff. What have we got going on here? I don't think I can take the Lich in hand to hand. It just seems unlikely. Fallen trees. We've got... When do we eat? Seriously, we're doing this. Again. Mordra, we've got the mayor, we've got the smith. Is that everyone? Oh, the alchemist. Let's go find out about him. Just look for a smoking crater. At least that's what they say. What's this? Sign. To the Dark Tower. Oh, that's nice. I'm glad they put up a sign. Whoa! Where'd we go? What happened? People! Do we have a plan? Can we share? What on earth? What is this? A magic axe? Come here, Spark. We're gonna level you up some. Oh, yeah, no, I don't actually want to talk to you. I want to give you a present. It's gonna be cool! It's a magic axe. Who's excited? I know, I kind of forgot about him. Well, let's go up to the Dark Tower, probably get slain, and definitely see what's going on. So, oh, I'm the one that's hungry. Okay. Thought I complain a lot. Alright, so... Going to get killed at the tower. Towie. At the Towie! That's what, it's the plan, you know. The plan, man. It's the plan. Alright, so let's rock and roll. Head up to the tower. There's like a stone, like, right in the middle. Because why not? Horns! Got a bone to pick with you. It's your extra rib. Hey, you. See a ghostly lady wearing a long black gown. Something that's a bit strange about the way she looks, we can't quite place it. After a pause, she says, "Greetings, my lady, I'm Rowena, lady of this wondrous tower." She gestures around the room, indicating the moldering walls and cobwebbed rafters. Stares blankly for a second, then as if on cue, "I'm the mistress of this tower. I tend to my Lord Horns' needs and keep our place looking respectable." It would appear she's falling behind in the latter duty. After a moment, "This is a lovely tower, dost thou not agree?" Before you can answer, she continues, "Dost thou see the lovely rays of light playing across the flagstones on the floor? Water sparkles in the fountain. 'Tis truly a beautiful place in which to live." Her eyes fixed upon the floor. Blinks once. "Horns, what a wonderful name. You found me lost and lonely and brought me here to be a lady. It's truly the most magnificent of lords. Goodbye, my lady. I hope thou hast enjoyed thy visit to the glorious tower. Please return whenever thou wishest." Feel as if you've been speaking to a statue. Let me do something here. The musical little box makes Rowena turn her head in your direction. She blinks several times as if waking from a dream, or in this case a nightmare. I'm in control of my mind for the time being, but I know not for how long. Tell me what's transpired in the town outside. You relate to her what you know of the events you've heard in town. My poor Trent, I can't bear to think he's become so hurt that he would forget our love. She wrings her hand in sorrow and noticed something on one of them. Please, my lady, wouldst thou take this ring to him and tell him that I still love him? Maybe it will restore him to the beloved Trin I once knew. Takes the ring from her slender finger and places it in your hand. You expect it to pass right through, but it rests neatly in your palm. I thank thee, kind lady, I know not how to repay thee. Rowena's eyes begin to look a little glassy, and she blinks slowly as if entering a deep trance. What beautiful music! My Lord Horns once gave me a music box like that one. She turns away distracted. Alright, well I think that's about as far as we're going to get on this one. I did not, in fact, die in the tower, but I will continue to try. So, I am Alier Weiress, the Runaway Queen. The Thief, the Arms Dealer, the Uniter of Tamriel. I'm also known as Angendra. They're both just screen names, ladies, protect yourself. Ooh, more magic axes. So this is Ultima VII, the Black Gate, and then also after that Serpent Isle. So we're doing the long run. It's really just one of the best games ever made. Love everything about it. So smash the subscribe button, take a look around the channel. It's everything that's awesome in gaming. Thank you for watching as always. Much love.